Like always, 3 minutes and 13 seconds. Why the 13 seconds? I don't know. I need 30 seconds to get it. Alright guys, we're in Zevenbergen Super Pro Sports Center, the home of some of the best kickboxers in kickboxing history. It's sparring day, so it's gonna be one hell of a training. Let's go. One more round, warm up.
I'm Oleksandr Usyk. Welcome on my gym. Whoa, what's the meeting? No! Enough. But never enough. Easy day. Today is an easy day. This is exercise and don't try. But this is exercise make me strong.
As the matchup draws closer, Oleksandr Usyk and Rico Verhoeven push themselves through intense training, sharpening their skills and getting fully prepared for the challenge ahead. Each day for Verhoeven starts with a cold plunge, a routine that reinforces his discipline, boosts recovery, and readies both his body and mindset for the demanding sessions that follow.
Seven in the morning. Iced up time. Let's go. Turning on some motivational speech, and then jumping in.
I've had some failures in front of a lot of people.
3 minutes.
But I didn't mind that because you grow from that, you know.
I think part of learning is dying. I think part of learning is you gotta die. Because what is learning? Learning is me giving up on my old ideas. And those ideas have to die for me to trust you.
Driven by the challenge of stepping in against Oleksandr Usyk, he approaches every session with sharp concentration, testing his limits daily and staying committed to showing he belongs among the very best in top-level boxing.
Ooh, wait. Oh, that's the morning routine right there. Oh, that's my favorite way to wake up, guys. Oh, the alarm goes. I wake up, get my towel, I walk down to the ice tub. So it's a shock, like jumping in, but it's such a boost coming out. I feel like a freaking winner.
His training camp is built on a steady routine, combining strength work, skill-focused drills, and stamina training, keeping him in peak physical condition while maintaining sharp focus throughout the entire preparation phase.
This is just horrible. And we've been doing this for years and years and years, back to back. That's why every time we finish, Dennis takes the time, notes it in his phone. Then after training, he puts it in his computer and he has data for years and years from when we start prep and what the times are when we finish camp. So yeah, it's always a challenge to stay as fit as possible and just to keep looking at the data like, hey, last preparation or the preparation before that, you were faster or you were better. What's the reason? So we keep analyzing the data, yeah, to be better every time.
Throughout his mitt-work sessions, he refines his punch sequences, rhythm, and accuracy, staying in close coordination with his coaches to strengthen core techniques and adjust smoothly to evolving challenges. He keeps his drive strong, working tirelessly through exhaustion, holding onto discipline and determination, and staying fully dedicated to improving as he prepares with intensity for a defining moment in his career.
Way to the top is, I think, easier because you have something to work towards, to look towards, and it's a dream, and it's a dream you're chasing. But when that dream finally becomes reality, you're there, you obtained it, and what happens now? And then a lot of people, maybe not a lot of people, it's just like what normally happens or logically happens is, hey, you get comfortable. I did it, I made it, but that's not me. That's not me. I keep the grind as real as it was.
During sparring, he challenges himself against different partners, learning to handle pressure while sharpening both his defensive movements and attacking approach, building the confidence and experience required to perform among top-tier boxers.
We got a lot of big guys here today, so we gotta make sure the Vaseline is on our face so the punches slip off and we don't end up with a bloody eye, bloody nose, black eyes.
He shares how the fight came together, explaining that an option to face Anthony Joshua was initially presented, but he decided on Oleksandr Usyk instead, holding the view that in boxing, undisputed champions should meet in the ring.
The champion now, undefeated for a long time. So what about undisputed versus undisputed? And they said one thing. I love it.
Wow.
Okay. Let's do it. So they started talking to Oleksandr about the whole idea. He loved the idea. So they made it work. And now we're here.
Would it be fair to say that the idea of fighting Usyk, given who he is and his current resume, interested you more than AJ?
100%.
Yeah.
The fight versus Anthony Joshua was also super exciting, but he's like a totally different fighter.
Sure.
And Oleksandr Usyk is the Rico Verhoeven in boxing.
Yeah.
So like he's been dominating for so long and in such phenomenal fashion. So I was like, wow, if we could do this, that would be like the cherry on the cake.
Meanwhile, Oleksandr Usyk undergoes demanding preparation, focusing on protecting his championship as he drives both his physical conditioning and mental focus to their highest level ahead of the next test.
For the fight and our priority, it's the quality of the sparring. Yeah. So the most important are sparring. In Usyk case, this is, I think so now, 60% of training loads.
Usyk's coach outlines their approach, emphasizing sparring that mirrors actual fight conditions, fine-tuning techniques, and preparing him to respond effectively to any tactics his opponent brings. Alongside his demanding training, Oleksandr Usyk spends meaningful time with his family, helping him stay driven, maintain balance, and keep his attention locked on the challenges ahead.
How often do the kids come into the gym?
Only today?
Only today.
Yeah, because they are not live here. They live in Malaga.
Ah.
Yeah,
Okay.
school, training. Yeah, now it's like a weekend to 2, maybe 3 days.
Wade Plemons offers a measured yet candid take on this unusual bout, describing it as a prime example of boxing shaped by entertainment appeal. He recognizes the matchup's excitement and expects fans to watch despite any criticism. Still, he strongly favors Oleksandr Usyk to control the fight, highlighting the clear skill advantage even in unpredictable crossover scenarios. Citing recent surprises, such as Francis Ngannou flooring Tyson Fury, he admits upsets are possible. Yet, he points out that Usyk has already proven himself by defeating top-tier opponents and dominating his division, whereas Rico Verhoeven is venturing into largely unfamiliar boxing territory, giving the contest more of a spectacle vibe than a traditional sporting contest.
Usyk's probably going to wash Rico, but hey, you never know. Francis walked in there, knocked down Tyson, jiggled his balls in his face, and ended up almost beating him. So yeah, I'll watch this. It's an entertainment fight. It's a crossover fight. And while I think that Oleksandr Usyk has bigger fish to fry in the heavyweight division, when KBL is a mandatory, I thought, for Oleksandr Usyk, there is, for other sanctioning bodies like the WBO, you have Fabio Wardley and Daniel Dubois. You have that fight about to happen, so the winner of that is going to, I thought, fight Usyk. And then you have Tyson Fury waiting in the wings. There's Moses Italma waiting in the wings. There's a lot of odd stuff happening here with the sanctioning bodies. And I'm going to tell you this now. This is what leaves a sour taste in my mouth about this.
Plemons also points out the issues arising from sanctioning bodies naming contenders, such as Fabio Wardley and Daniel Dubois, as waiting for their legitimate title shots, a situation he believes undermines the division's credibility. Even so, he acknowledges the entertainment appeal, recognizing that modern boxing increasingly blends competition with spectacle, drawing viewers' attention even when questions about fairness and legitimacy remain.
Are digging their own graves with stuff like this. They are digging their own graves, because the more they do stuff like this, Rico Verhoeven, no reason, no business he should be fighting for a heavyweight championship in boxing. Yes, in kickboxing, very different. Him coming over and fighting for this, and essentially his second boxing match, Rico fought a guy named Janos Finfera and knocked him out cold. I mean, like I said, it's a crossover fight. If you want to say, like, look at what all Usyk has done for the heavyweight division. He fought the best of the best. He ran laps around the division, so he deserves a fun fight. That's fine. I don't really have any problem with that. I didn't have a problem with watching Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou. I said, you know what? I'm excited for the fight. I'll watch the fight. I'm excited for this fight. I'll watch the fight.
In a recent conversation, Oladipo shared his straightforward view on the current heavyweight scene, emphasizing that Anthony Joshua isn't performing at the same level as Oleksandr Usyk. He considers Usyk the top heavyweight globally and already among boxing's all-time greats. Joshua, in contrast, has yet to reach that elite tier, making some prospective matchups feel unusual and slightly mismatched. At the same time, Oladipo expressed enthusiasm about boxing's global growth, highlighting the potential for memorable events in locations like Egypt that could create lasting moments for fans around the world.
Boy, but AJ's not Oleksandr Usyk, right? I mean, where AJ isn't where Oleksandr Usyk is. Oleksandr Usyk's the #1 heavyweight in the world, one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. AJ, this stage of his career, certainly isn't that. So I guess it makes the matchup appear even more strange. Look, I like the idea of going to Egypt, by the way. I think it's good when boxing goes to different places in the world. I think these are events that you remember. There was some talk about Oleksandr Usyk signing with Zuffa. I prayed and had my fingers crossed that it was going to be Oleksandr Usyk versus Agit Kabayel. Now, some of you might be right here. You're like, oh, one second. Oleksandr Usyk's done everything asked of.
He also addressed speculation linking Usyk to organizations like Zuffa, while expressing a personal desire to witness more competitive matchups, such as Usyk against Agent Kabayel, despite discussions about opting for easier opponents. Comparisons were made to Tyson Fury taking on Francis Ngannou, illustrating that even elite champions sometimes pursue unexpected fights. Ultimately, Oladipo underscores his profound respect for Usyk's decade-long dominance, making criticism challenging, while still hoping the champion stays active in the ring.
And I kind of see the argument for that. I'm not saying I like it. I kind of see the argument for it. Tyson Fury had one, didn't he? Tyson Fury had a knock against Francis Ngannou as a heavyweight champion. So I don't see much difference between that and this, although that got critiqued as well. AJ, I guess, had one against Jake Paul. Again, I didn't see, I mean, people were complaining, but he still went and did it. So look, Oleksandr Usyk has entertained me for nearly a decade. And I always find it difficult, and I think I said this before in a video, I find it difficult to say anything negative about Oleksandr Usyk, anything negative at all. Would I like him to stay more busy? Yes. Would I like him to fight the next man up? Absolutely. But I don't think I'm going to crucify him for doing this. I don't. Maybe I should, and I think a lot of you guys in the comment section, look, again, feel free to leave a comment and tell me what you think. I think a lot of you might crucify him for doing it. But when someone has become undisputed heavyweight champion of the world twice, cruiserweight champion, Olympic gold medalist, world championship gold medalist, you can have one. You can have one. And then we'll see if he falls back into the routine of fighting the next man up. Again, look, let me not pretend I'm not disappointed it's not Agit Kabayel, but as soon as I started hearing whispers about Agit Kabayel having another fight in Germany and it not being Usyk, I was already kind of making my mind that Usyk was going to go down this route. Again, AJ was going to go down this route. Rico doesn't have a chance in hell, does he? If we're being brutally honest there, like, he's taken on, I mean, Oleksandr Usyk is godlike. Rico will have no fear.
In an in-depth analysis, Teddy Atlas shared his perspective on a unique upcoming bout featuring Oleksandr Usyk, widely recognized as one of today's premier heavyweights. Usyk is set to defend his WBA title against kickboxing standout Rico Verhoeven, with the fight reportedly taking place in Egypt near the pyramids, a setting that combines sport with global spectacle. Atlas noted that boxing has long balanced genuine competition with entertainment, and this matchup exemplifies that mix. He stressed that Usyk has fully earned the opportunity for such a contest. From winning Olympic gold to becoming the undisputed cruiserweight champion and then rising to dominate the heavyweight ranks, Usyk has repeatedly proven himself against top-tier opponents. Atlas believes his accomplishments already secure him a place among boxing's all-time greats.
Usyk will be defending his WBA title versus a kickboxer, Rico Verhoeven, in May 23rd, I believe, in Egypt, at the pyramids. Now, we've had a history. It's an entertainment business, right? And I know there'll be people that are going to say that, they're going to be pros and cons about it. My feeling is, look, Usyk has earned the right to take a one-off, if you want to call it that. And just like everyone else is taking a shot at doing that, he's earned the right. He's fought everybody. Everybody. And he has put himself now into that status where he can be called one of the great heavyweights of all time. He's earned that. He's fought everyone. Olympic gold medalist, unified the cruiserweight title.
Atlas did, however, highlight a significant concern. Unlike crossover events like Tyson Fury taking on Francis Ngannou, this matchup is reportedly recognized as a WBA title defense. That distinction shifts the discussion, as many career professional heavyweights could feel overlooked despite years of dedication to the sport. Still, Atlas offered a balanced view. While the legitimacy of the fight might be questioned by some, he refrained from criticizing Usyk, commending his professionalism and accomplishments. Regarding Verhoeven's prospects, Atlas was straightforward, noting that his chances are very slim, emphasizing that size alone cannot match the experience and skill of a veteran boxer.
I think what makes this a little bit different to me is that the WBA is sanctioning it as a title defense for Usyk. That makes it a little bit different. There's going to be some people who are going to say, well, that, it's not fair to some of the heavyweights out there, professional heavyweights that are not kickboxers, that are heavyweights, professional boxers, and they deserve a shot. But for a guy who's a kickboxer and who has had one professional boxing match, he's 1-0. against the guy that who knows. But so I can understand that, but I can't get mad at Usyk with the way that he's conducted his career in and out of the ring. And as I said, he's fought everybody. But I do understand that the WBA that's a little different, that they're allowing it to be for a sanctioned title.
Luke Thomas recently offered his perspective on the upcoming bout between Oleksandr Usyk and Rico Verhoeven, examining both its sporting significance and cultural context. Coming primarily from an MMA background rather than traditional boxing, Thomas expressed that he doesn't feel a strong urge to see Usyk take on fighters like Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, or Daniel Dubois. While those matchups excite certain fans, he noted that kickboxing shares more cultural similarities with MMA than with boxing, which helps explain the mixed reactions to this fight. Usyk, now 39, last stepped into the ring in July 2025, defeating Dubois in their rematch and solidifying his status among the sport's top heavyweight competitors.
To me, I understand if you're a boxing fan, this is why on earth would you care about this? But as someone who comes from the more MMA side, and kickboxing is closer to MMA as a community, as a culture, than it is the boxing side of things. I'm not saying that kickboxing is not closer to boxing in terms of the techniques used as a sport. It's in a ring, there's similar kinds of gloves, you know, there's no takedowns, blah, blah, blah. But culturally, kickboxing is closer to MMA, which is why I think you're seeing some of the split reaction. But I don't really mind it as a fight. I don't have a strong reaction one way or the other. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. But we should talk about this for a second. First of all, Oleksandr Usyk, 39. The last time he fought, I think it was July of 2025 when he beat Dubois in the rematch. Rico, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I've been following closely his glory career. I've seen obviously some of the bigger fights he's been in, Badr Hari. Obviously he fought Errol Zimmerman. He's fought, I think, Benjamin Adegbu.
Thomas recognized Verhoeven's advantage in size and athleticism, pointing out that he is probably taller and heavier than Usyk, but stressed that the matchup strongly favors Usyk because of his vast professional experience. He also highlighted the financial aspect, noting that the fight represents a straightforward payday for Usyk, while offering Verhoeven a rare chance at a high-profile event he might not otherwise have. Adding to its uniqueness, the bout is scheduled in front of Egypt's pyramids, providing a visually striking backdrop reminiscent of cinematic fighting games. Thomas warned that while such locations enhance the spectacle, they can also create logistical hurdles for promoters. Overall, he sees the matchup as a compelling blend of sport, entertainment, and international exposure, reflecting the strategic choices of both fighters.
Some really big names up and down, and has obviously an incredible career, but I can't pretend that I've been following it closely. 36 years old. What is interesting about this is that you'll recall the UFC wanted to sign him and he wanted to go box instead. Well, this is what that is. I don't know what the UFC offered him. Surely it cannot be what Turkey is offering him. And I gotta say, for Usyk, he gets something of an easy payday. For Verhoeven, he gets a payday off of a fight against an opponent that I would have thought he never would have gotten. I mean, if your choice is fighting Usyk for what I'm going to guess could be a 7 or 8 figure payday, depending on how this goes, or a fraction of that against some kind of UFC heavyweight before you even get a title.
That wraps up today's video. Stay connected for more, and we'll see you next time.